This is my bedroom. I currently have 3 reef tanks set up here. It all started with this 40-gallon aquarium. It was set up in 2020 and is one of my favorite tanks. On each side of it, I set up a 20-gallon aquarium. I also have an aquarium downstairs. It's a 10-gallon tank. Let's take a look at each one of them individually and see what's going on inside them. The 40-gallon aquarium measures 120 by 45 by 30 centimeters tall. After overcoming some challenges such as hair algae, cyanobacteria, hydroids and bubble algae, it's finally settling in nicely. The corals, fish and other marine animals are thriving. I recently added a nice colony of zoanthids. There are over 50 polyps. Can you guess their name? I noticed a small crab living inside my Acropora colony. It's completely harmless and cares for the coral and makes sure it's clean. Next to this acro, I am growing a nice frag of Hypnopora. When I got it, it was a small broken off piece, less than a centimeter in size. Over the course of a few months, it grew into this. The sea urchins keep knocking off coral frags. These frags are all for sale on my website. I ship them throughout the European Union. Whenever I have a damaged coral, I place it behind the reef and hope it recovers. Take a look at this Favia coral. The fish seem very hungry. Let's feed them. Of course, we also have to dose amino acids and vitamins to the corals. What do you think of my 40-gallon aquarium? Let's take a look at the other tanks now. These aquariums measure 65 by 45 by 30 centimeters tall. This aquarium is finally starting to look the way I want it to. I managed to get rid of the thousands of bubble algae on the rocks using a bacterial treatment and by adding an army of emerald crabs. They loved eating the algae. This soft coral is growing really fast. It looks nice, but it has become an invasive species in my aquarium. There are a few fragments growing on other parts of the reef, right between my Montipora garden. I bet these don't like the presence of this soft coral. This flower coral used to be in my Nano reef tank downstairs. It grew so much that I had to swap it out with the mini flower I had in here. I recently noticed these tiny red worms on the base of my Duncan coral. I am not sure what type they are exactly. Have you ever seen a tube worm? They are quite fascinating. They retract into their tubes if they sense danger. A local hobbyist recently gifted me this giant leather coral. It was a frag. Can you imagine the size of the mother animal? The last aquarium to check on in my bedroom has a past of bad luck. An anemone once ended up in the power head, and later on the tank crashed during a holiday. I wasn't home and a lot of corals didn't make it. Last week I added 2 mangrove plants to this aquarium. Since they're in salt water, salt crystals form on the leaves. I cleaned them using RO water. After the crash, I started over and it's looking really nice now. It's part frag tank and part reef. The giant soft corals look really nice. I hope I can grow them even larger. These smaller corals are all available on my website. They would look really good in your saltwater aquarium. Let's go downstairs and take a look at my Nano reef tank. It was featured on one of the most watched live talk shows here in the Netherlands. Moving the aquarium to the TV studio in Amsterdam was quite a challenge. But in the end, it all went well and the tank is doing phenomenal, even though it is due for some maintenance. These polyps always remind me of those Venus flytrap plants. Since this aquarium is so small, a lot of water evaporates. I recently switched from RO water to tap water as an experiment. It seems to be working without causing any algae problems. Usually tap water contains a lot of bad stuff, but so far so good. I hope you enjoyed this tour of my reef tanks. Consider subscribing to my channel to see and learn more. Thanks for watching!